Welcome, my daddies and dads, to another Play on News, where we play on news because we're playing while we're doing the news because it's a play on news. And I want to review Sifu today as well as do the regular scheduled Play on News video. So let's get into it. First of all, we're going to talk about the new X-Men animated series. Well, new, old, kind of the same. All right, so let's just get that out of the way first. So there is a new X-Men series coming out. It is a new animated series based on the 90s X-Men cartoon show. Now, a lot of people have been asking, is this a new one? Is it just canonically, the spiritual successor, or is it actually picking up where the previous series left off? Well, fear not, X-Men fans. This is the same exact series. They're saying that the art style is going to be the same, but they're obviously going to spice up, improve it. I'm hoping we don't get no 3D one or anything like that, but this is picking up exactly where the last one left off. Now, for those who know, recently in the comics, X-Men have been dealing with the whole Dawn of X, House of X, Staring of X, Brother of X, whatever the fuck it is. Storyline where basically the mutants went to an island, a living island of Krakoa, who's been in previous X-Men comics, but now they live there. And Wolverine and Cyclops are in a poly marriage relationship thing with Jean, and everybody's going all crazy, and mutants are coming back from the dead, and all mutants that died are now back alive, and all this other crazy shit. So with all of this going on, I highly doubt that we're going to get the Hope storyline, the Mutant Messiah, the Avengers versus X-Men storyline. I highly doubt we're getting all of that. And then now also the House of X, Dawn of X, Lucille Lawless of X and all this stuff. So I don't think we're going to get up to that part. I think Disney will cancel it before we get there. But if we do, and this is a series that goes on for the next couple of years, I will be highly excited and intrigued for the possibilities of where this can go. So it has me very excited to hear that news. So on to the next one. Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, or as I like to say, his Iron Fist and his accomplices, because all of his associates and team members and sidekicks are way better than he is in that show, as well as Punisher. So these are all Jessica Jones. These are all great Netflix shows that led up to the Defenders, which is supposed to be the Netflix version of the Avengers. Now, if you know the comic books, the Defenders was an actual team formed by Luke Cage and Iron Fist and yada. So why am I mentioning all of these Netflix shows that everybody and their mama probably have seen by now? Because they're all leaving March 1st. Now, since they're leaving March 1st, where are these shows going to go? Well, the rights have gone back to Disney, which means our good friends over at the House of Mouse, the house that rocks the louse, they are getting these shows. So all the Netflix shows are going over to Disney. I am just curious if we're going to get the giant N with the balloon in the beginning of it. I don't think so, but if we do, that would be really cool. So Disney are grabbing these shows back up. This could be the reason why you got Kingpin in the recent Hawkeye TV show, spoiler alert, or spoiler alert, this is the reason why Daredevil, Matt Murdock himself, has shown up in Spider-Man No Way Home. Because now that the impending date of these releases of these shows are coming up, Kevin Feige can now officially put them into the MCU. All of the answers that he was giving before, saying that he didn't know if he was going to bring these characters in there, was because of the fact that he did not know if he was bringing it in immediately. So it seemed like he bided his time, his bode his time a bit. And as soon as the release date of these shows was coming up, to release it back to Disney, the rights back to Disney, is now when he is officially trying to bring them into the MCU. So it was answering the question without actually answering the question. All the times that he said no was because he genuinely meant no, or he did not know how he was going to introduce them, but he was taking that as a statement of that current time, not when they lost the rights, which means that interviewers needed to be a little bit more specific at that time and now going forward with Kevin Feige, because that's kind of an asshole way to ask that question, don't you think? Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Alright, so full disclosure, I actually enjoyed the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I know. Get the pitchforks and the now out the way. But I actually enjoyed the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, alright? Go figure. And now Sonic 2 has just been announced. The trailer just dropped. It looks fucking amazing for me. Still very iffy on if I want Cyclops, James Marsden as a Sonic ally. I'm not really okay with that. I kind of just wanted a live action-ish Sonic movie of Sonic and his friends, maybe bring Sally in there and all of that stuff from the old school 90s cartoons. Go look it up. Here's a clip of Sally and Sonic, which was really pretty fucking cool. But there was just a lot of, you know, Sonic media that I consumed as a kid. You know, you got Jaleel White as the original Sonic with his chili dogs in a fucking world that made no sense and looked like a desert 9 times out of 10. You had the Sonic the Hedgehog comic books that came out where he was part of the Freedom Fighters, which I thoroughly fucking enjoyed and I think was better than any fucking, you know, cartoon that came out. You had Sonic X, which was decent. And then from there, the Sonic cartoons started to go the way of the games and just was shit. The last Sonic game that I really enjoyed was Sonic Generations. But going back on topic, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with Knuckles in it. Knuckles is, well, he was my #1 favorite Sonic character, and then Shadow came along and blew him out of the fucking water. And before people talk about Shadow with the edginess and the guns, listen, I did not care for Shadow and his guns when I first played that original Shadow the Hedgehog game. I did not use any weapons, but his attitude and badassness.
This is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me.
That was something that I thoroughly enjoyed. So Shadow is my favorite Sonic the Hedgehog character. It goes Shadow, Knuckles, Sonic. So I'm thrilled to see Knuckles in there. He was my OG #1, and Idris Elba is playing him. I mean, it gets no better than having Heimdall himself, the guy that should have been James Bond, playing Knuckles. It makes sense. And I would love to insert a clip from Dance Off about Macklemore where, you know, he's actually in the song. Idris Elba's in the song.
That's all. Nope.
But it's a great trailer. Tails is in it, which is really good. Jim Carrey played a good Eggman, skinny Eggman, but now he actually got the Dr. Robotnik beard going on par. The glasses is on par. The costume looks great. This seems like it's leaning more to the video game cartoon side of it than the original movie did. And that's what a lot of people gave a lot of criticism for in that movie, was the fact that it was very much more of an original IP with themes rather than a homage to the games and the other forms of media. So this one seems to be clarifying that and fixing that, and I cannot wait for it. Mario Strikers Battle League. Okay, I talked about it. What do you want me to say? I'm not a fan of a lot of Mario games the way I used to be, and definitely not Strikers. This reminds me of Rocket League in a more traditional Nintendo-ish sport. I'm not a fan of it. What do you want me to say? Star Wars Hunters. Now, this is a game that I'm kind of intrigued with it. This one seems more up my alley than that Dragon Ball Z game is, with the whole Battle Royale survival type of thing. And this actually seems promising. I think that the bounty hunter idea is pretty cool. I would love to see maybe like an Asajj Ventress style bounty hunter where it's just like a random ass Jedi Sith bounty hunter. But it looks really good. It looks very promising, and a lot of people are not talking about it. They're sleeping on it, and it looks pretty good. I am thrilled to see Star Wars and the IP of Star Wars branching out into different genres now. If only we can get a Jedi Academy new version game. I used to watch it all the time on that Versus show that was on original G4, and I used to love it. So I would love to see something like that come in there, or a new Star Wars MMO. Let's go. Halo. Let's talk about Master Chief and friends. So I'm a gigantic Halo nerd. I mean, Halo was at one point all around my house. Halo was the thing that saved me from a life of misery and health complications. And we will get into that in a very intimate story time one day. But until then, Halo was the one thing that saved me from a life that I did not want to lead. It put me on the right path. It helped me become a police officer for a while. If you watch my old channel, DE Dark Deathwing, right here, I'll go more in depth on it. But Halo was the original thing that basically saved me at one of the darkest times in my life. So I have a lot to say about the new Halo TV series that's coming out on Paramount Plus. Listen, I being the big Halo nerd that I am, I'm very big on lore, and this is changing a lot of the lore of Halo. And the director came out, and a lot of the devs at 343 came out, and they addressed some of these concerns, and they even put out some screenshots along with this trailer. So as you see, this trailer looks to be good-ish. I mean, listen, if you watch Forward Unto Dawn, which here's a clip from Forward Unto Dawn, and now you take Master Chief from Forward Unto Dawn, and you put him side by side with Master Chief from the new Halo TV show. I'll let you be the judge of which one you think looks best. Me, personally, I prefer Forward Unto Dawn. I also prefer the way the Spartans look in Forward Unto Dawn. I do not like how they are butchering my boy. And let's just put it like that. But with the spin that they're putting onto the lore, even though, again, I am a purist for lore, I do think there should be some concessions when you make a TV show. You can't always do everything one-to-one because you don't have the resources. You can't allocate the funds or the resources. You can't get the funds or the resources to do specific things, which is why I'm a big fan of the Uncharted trailer, even though they are missing a lot of things, and I do not like Mark Wahlberg as Sully. I still think Nathan Fillion should have played an adult Drake. Maybe we'll get that, in Uncharted 4 or something for the movies. But I do think that you have to make some concessions sometimes. But going as deep as they did, making a human pet of the Covenant and changing certain things and changing the gaps of history and all the stuff for Halo, I'm not really sure if I can get behind that. I'm not sure if I can justify that at all. For me, it looks like show that everybody wants, that we're finally going to get, is no longer on Showtime, is on Paramount Plus, which is why we're getting this butchered version. And it seems like this will be one of those TV shows that lasts for a season or two and then will abruptly get canceled and piss off a lot of people, and they won't pick it back up for 12 to 20 years like they do most shows, because it was received so poorly, and Hollywood doesn't care about passion projects or the fans. They just care about dollars and the bills. So we're going to lose our one chance at getting a Halo TV show if they do not do it right. And that is the reason why I am so upset about this, because of the fact that this is your one fucking chance. And decide to say, the safe thing, you decide to go and do whatever the fuck you want, which is going to not just fuck it up for you and your show and everybody that's working on it, but for the fans and the future versions of any type of Halo show. We won't get a Halo movie, we won't get a Halo spinoff, we won't get nothing, because you decide to take a risk that is going to bomb. And every one of the fans, which the show should put first, because it's harder to get a new audience if you just market to everybody compared to if you just market to the hardcore fans and even the casual fans, just the people that know Halo. If you market towards them and allow them to do their own publicity, marketing campaign and word of mouth and yada, 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 if you do that, you have a better opportunity to being able to take a risk later on in your show. But that's not what we're doing, is it? So because of that, you're going to fuck over your fans, fuck over your staff, fuck over your cast, fuck over your crew that's working on it, fuck over your producers. You're going to fuck over everybody, and then also not be able to create any new fans, which will then abruptly get you canceled. So why? But I am not being cynical, and I know a lot of you probably think I am, but I'm not. I'm being realistic. I am a fan of Halo, a huge fan of Halo. Like I said, one of the biggest fans out there, but I think that they're going in the wrong direction with this TV show. But you know what? If I am wrong, I promise you, I will go and buy the Master Chief Collection, and I will replay Halo 2 for the umpteenth time, and I will sit down there and let's say I will play as the Arbiter, and I will not bitch, and I will stream it. How about that? Well, we'll cut that deal, because as much as I like the Arbiter character, I did not like playing as some, but I will do it for you guys, and I will make myself the biggest dick in the fucking world by playing the Arbiter and trying my best to enjoy it. And I promise that, and that's something that I would never thought I would say out of my mouth, but I am. So that's a little inside Halo bet for all of you out there, and we'll see if I actually keep that, because I don't think I'm going to be wrong. Oh, before I forget, my editor, Cuddy, can you please put in a clip of Cortana?
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.
That ain't Cortana, you guys. Somebody on Reddit actually went and took that screenshot of Cortana and edited it and made it more akin to what we know as Cortana. Yes, that's Cortana's voice, but that's not her actress. And let's put it in what they actually edited to make it look more like Cortana. See the difference? Take notes, Paramount. This guy on Reddit outdid you. There we go. The Boys. Season 3 got an official first look and an announcement trailer. It looks pretty good. I'm okay with it. I think The Boys, this is what I mean when I say lore. I think that they are changing the lore of the comics, but they're not doing it in a way that makes it worse. They're staying true to the comics and actually making it look pretty good. I actually enjoyed the first look trailer for season 3. I've been enjoying a lot of The Boys. I think that they did change a lot, but even though they did change a lot, I think it's for the better. I don't think it's for worse. I am a fan of what The Boys, the TV show, has been doing. I've read all of the comics. I've read through it immensely, and I liked it. I liked the comics. I loved it for what it was, and I think that the TV show is actually enhancing it. I think by I won't give in too much spoilers for The Boys comic, but the people that are surviving that should not be surviving, I think is pretty good. I think the gender swap for Stormfront, I think that was a smart idea. I think everything that they're doing with, Black Noir, I think it's phenomenal what they're doing there. It's not something like Halo where you're changing what makes these characters fundamental. I don't think you're doing that. I think you're taking the spin while staying true to what makes these characters. So props for them. Here we go, the coup de grace, you guys. It's the coup de grace. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness just recently dropped their latest trailer on Super Bowl Sunday, and I can tell you right now, this movie, I've read the leaks. I am one of those guys that, I do read the leaks, and it seems pretty accurate to what I read, and what I read was pretty fucking bonkers. Every channel on YouTube right now is talking about the Patrick Stewart cameo in there, the voice of him. You didn't catch that they're missing Reed Richards in there, and I think we all know who's been playing Reed Richards, because there's again, if the leaks are true, in some way we all want to play Reed Richards. Let me just say that. Also, those seats that are up there in that Camelot styled formation of that row is different. But if Patrick Stewart is in there and it's looking down towards him and Patrick Stewart is addressing other people, it is not the X-Men, it is the Illuminati. And now let's put in some images of the members of the Illuminati. This is going to be fucking amazing. And I will tell you all right now, yes, we all know that Iron Man is part of the Illuminati, but it's not going to be Robert Downey Jr. I'm telling you that right now. I'm putting it in now. The original person that was supposed to play Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. got the job was Tom Cruise. And there's images of Tom Cruise in an Iron Man suit. Let's put it up here now. Now, I don't know how I feel about it, but it does make sense that an arrogant bastard like Tom Cruise would be Iron Man. So the casting does make sense. It's just weird because we never expected to see Tom Cruise as Iron Man. But if the Illuminati is in this shit, I am telling you right now, if the leaks are true, this movie's going to be fucking bonkers ass crazy. Yes, Wanda is being set up as the villain. We all know this because of her kids, and in WandaVision they're hearing them and reading a Darkhold, and now she's the living embodiment of chaos and all this stuff. Shuma-Gorath, who they're using another villain's name, I forgot what it is, I think it's Gargantos or something like that. That's a different villain, but the way the character looks is Shuma-Gorath because they cannot use the actual rights of Shuma-Gorath, this whole thing. But it is Shuma-Gorath, they just can't say it. So they use another villain's name with Shuma-Gorath's backstory and look. So he is the villain, but he's not the main villain. Wanda is. You also got America Chavez in this movie, who's making her MCU debut from another universe, and she's going to be joining ours just the same way that she is. Well, ours as in the MCU, the same way that she has her comic book origins and be able to fucking float between both of them, kind of like a Gwen Stacy's without the wrist thing, the pop in different dimensions or universes. So it's really, really bonkers as fuck. We also got the What If Stephen Strange in there as well, so at least it looks that way. So it's probably my favorite thing right now. The Spider-Man No Way Home just concluded, and I was really, really happy with that movie. I love that movie, probably one of my top tier Marvel movies of this day. But Doctor Strange 2 seems to be taking that from it real quick. I think that these two movies together, I would love to binge them one day just to watch the whole thing. Phase 1, 2, and 3 was about the Infinity Stones. I think phase 4, 5, and 6 is all going to be about reality shifting and changing the landscape. I think 7, 8, and 9, I'm putting that it's going to be Inhumans and Mutants. That's what I think is going to happen. 10, 11, 12, I'm not really sure. Hopefully I'm alive to even see that shit, but it is right now a good time to be a Marvel fan, especially a Marvel movies fan. It is that time where we got to review Sifu. This game, let's get this out of the way right now. Everybody has said it, so it's not that of a spoiler. It has 5 levels, and as you can see from this footage, it's probably not the game for everyone. I am not a Dark Souls fan. I am not a Sekiro fan. I'm not. I don't like abusive games, and I'm gonna use that title. I've heard other people been tossing it around lately, and it's pretty fucking accurate. It's abusive games. It's games that are notoriously hard, and it notoriously sets you back every time you die. It takes that MMO World of Warcraft retrieving your items and your loot, puts it on its head, and completely makes it 10 times worse. And I can tell you right now that it is one of those games that's extremely hard, and it will take a lot of dedication to beat. But the John Wick style of hand-to-hand combat and weapon combat without the guns is amazing. It's like Hotline Miami mixed with John Wick, mixed with Ip Man, mixed with every martial arts movie Bruce Lee ever fucking put out. And it's notoriously simple of a story. It's a revenge tale. Kill these 5 guys that wronged you, no spoilers, but wronged you basically, and you win. But the aging mechanic, every time you die in a level, you get older. You're starting off as a year, but then the more time you die in that level, the more years is starting to jump, which once you get to like 70 or 80 is game over because you fucking die. So you only get like 7 lives a level essentially before you fucking die, and it's really hard. But the more you play it and the more you perfect it, the better you get at it, the more things that you can unlock, which will help you be better at the game. So it's very different in that regard. But for somebody like me who does not like abusive games, that is a great game for me to play. It's notoriously simple. It's right to the point. It's not a lot of running. You don't spend a lot of hours traveling. You get right into the action, and you have a simple loop mechanic that keeps you engaged. The story is great for what it is, and the hand-to-hand combat is what makes it. It's like playing Arkham Knight and just staying in the training mode, and the training mode has a purpose, and it's really fucking hard. I love it. The Arkham series is one of my favorite hand-to-hand fighting combat series that there was, as well as Spider-Man, the new one for the PS4, 5, and the Miles Morales ones. Like I think it's taking the hand-to-hand combat that we all love from those type of series, putting it into a Souls-like mechanic, and making it like a side-scroller beat 'em up in a way. And they even have a homage to Daredevil in this game. The Daredevil fight scene, going back to the earlier story about the Netflix shows being so great that it's even impacting a video game. And I know that Daredevil show took inspiration from other movies like The Raid. It's so cool to have a game like this that is just, whenever I'm done playing Halo or Overwatch or Ready or Not, or any of these competitive games, even Ready or Not is not a competitive shooter, but it's still a game that requires a lot of thought and effort. Titanfall is another one I love, but off topic on this. When you sit down there and you take that entire day and you're so stressed out and you want something challenging, but you don't want something that is going to require you to get super sweaty, and you throw in Sifu, it's just something, it's a blast to have. And even when you die a lot and you're struggling, it does not feel like something that's going to devastate you. It feels like something that feels right at home, and you just want to go for another round just to see if you can actually beat it. So I like Sifu for what it is. Yes, it is going to push the boundaries for a lot of people. It's going to stress out a lot of people. You will break some fucking controllers, but in the end, I believe the game is worth it. It's only $40. It's Yeah, it's high for 4 or 5 levels, but when you got the age mechanic and the progression skill tree, and you get to go back and try it again, and there's new ways to find things, and yes, things are not randomly generated. You do have characters in the same spot, but it's not a detriment. It's actually a benefit, because the more abilities you get and the better you get at the level, you can run through it and beat it as a 20-year-old the entire time without taking damage, and now feel like that adrenaline rush, the dopamine rush that you get for self-satisfaction. I mean, it's really cool to have a game like that. So pick it up. It's on Epic Game Store. I think PS5 as well. So let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the no section below if you want. So that's all, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Play on News, where we play on news while you play on news, because it's a play on news, because we played while we delivered the news. So until next time, I am the one that's loving you, the one and only Lord Splice. My daddies and dudettes, game over, bitches.